The Dallas Mavericks keep winning. The Mavs are coming off a victory over the Raptors as the Mavericks have now won 7 games in a row, and they are 11-1 over their last 12 games. And the Mavs, they have now moved into second place in the Western Conference. The Dallas Mavericks, they have been red hot, and this team, they're playing well. Their stars are coming together nicely. The depth has been showing itself. I would not be surprised if the Dallas Mavericks end up making it back to the NBA Finals. I said this on X. I'm leaning towards them as my pick this early into the season. They have just been absolutely killing it. And to me, they're the best team in the West. I know they're going to have a chance to prove that with a huge matchup coming up on Tuesday, NBA Cup quarterfinals against the Thunder. But when I look at the Western Conference right now, the Mavs, they look like the favorite to come out of the West, especially when they're playing like this. I'm going to talk about this team, guys. Do me a solid, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more Mavs content just like this. This is the Mavs. They picked up a 125-118 victory over my Toronto Raptors. The Raptors, they almost came back. They were down by as many as 24. And from the Mavs perspective, I mean, they definitely don't want to fall victim to that where they do get up big. And then it is a game late in the fourth because I thought the Raptors did do a good job of battling back. But the Mavericks, they did shut the door late in that fourth. And you look at this game, it was Kyrie Irving that started the game with 16 points in the first quarter. He really helped the pace for the Mavericks as they got out to that big lead. 70-54 was the halftime lead for the Mavs. Just some takeaways from this game for the Mavericks. Klay Thompson was big. Like, he scored 20 points for just the third time this season, and he did it by hitting shots inside the arc. He was just 3 for 9 on 3-pointers, but he hit 5 of his 7 2-point shots, so I thought that was really encouraging to see. And I mean, the Mavericks, they've been waiting for this Klay Thompson, and I said it in a previous video about the Mavs. I dropped it the other day. If the Mavericks do want to make that run and get back to the NBA Finals, they're going to need a consistent Klay Thompson. I'm not asking Klay Thompson to be the Klay Thompson of old, the Splash Brother Klay Thompson. They don't need that because Luka and Kyrie are that dynamic duo. But if Klay Thompson can just be consistent with it, where he can give you 20 points like this, he's hitting his shots, he's efficient, he's spacing the floor, he's making defenses respect him. Like, that's all you need Klay to do. And I thought he did a really good job in this game, scoring 20 points. And hopefully, you know, for the Mavs, he can continue this type of pace and just be consistent with shooting the basketball. And if he does, that's just going to make Luka and Kyrie even more dangerous. And that's exactly what Luka and Kyrie were in this game. They were absolutely dangerous. They were lights out. Irving had 29. Doncic, we're going to talk about him now. He had 30 points, 11 assists, 13 rebounds. That big three combined for 79 of the Mavericks 125. So that tells you how big that trio can be. But Doncic, I mean, this dude is unbelievable. You look at how he plays the game. He was in total control of the pace. Some of these dimes he had in this game, guys, like, blows your mind. He had one pass to Klay Thompson that stands out to me in my mind where he hit Klay for the three in the corner. Like, he does things that you literally see in a video game. He plays the game at his pace, and Luka, he's starting to look like the old Luka. 2 straight games with a triple-double. And, you know, this dude was just hitting no-look passes. He banked in a half-court shot. How could I forget about that? Like, that was huge. And it just looks like he's having fun again. It looks like he's enjoying himself. And you could tell, like, it's a different Luka to the one that started the season because he was laboring a bit. But I really think that week off that he had for his wrist strain, it really helped him just rejuvenate himself because he looks like a guy who is locked in and he is looking like an MVP candidate, a top MVP candidate. Like, this dude has been playing unbelievably well. You look at his last couple of games, you know, 30, 13, 11 against the Raptors, 21, 10, and 10 against the Wizards, 37, 12, and 4 against the Grizzlies, 36, 7, and 13 against the Blazers. Like, he's putting together these incredible outings. And again, that week off really helped him rest his entire body, where he is now putting forth these type of performances. And Luka is just so special. The way he gets his own offense, the way he gets his teammates involved, the way he just slows down the game to how he wants to play it. He has made a little bit of those strides you like to see defensively. He looks far better defensively than before he took that week off, in my opinion. So this is just the engine that drives things, right? When Luka's having fun, when he's smiling, when he's playing as well as he is, it's just contagious. And we've seen it have that stem effect. Everybody elevates their game, and it all comes and stems from Luka. So really nice to see Luka getting it going. In this one, they didn't have that much help from the bench. Shooting wise, they didn't get much in terms of bench production. Dinwiddie, he did have 11 points despite shooting 1 for 6. But overall, I think Dinwiddie's been a nice little boost for the Mavericks with their second unit. Gafford did have 10, but the Mavericks, when they have their starters, and in particular the big three, play as well as they did, you don't need to rely on your bench too much. But obviously when you play better teams and teams that are deeper like the OKC Thunder, you're going to need the bench to come up bigger than they did in this one. I think a big thing for the Mavs is they're going to need Najee Marshall back soon, and he's been big for them as well. So hopefully he can come back into the mix sooner rather than later. And again, just going back to the 24-point lead, obviously the Mavs, they win this game, so you're not talking about it, but you never want to play with your food, and you don't want to give teams an opportunity or give teams life when you have such a big lead, because again, the Raptors did do a good job of making this a game. And I know basketball is a game of runs, but this Dallas team, they're too good to have teams come back on them, and they have the tools to absolutely bury teams and not give them any chance. So I think that's what you want to see if you're a Mavs fan. Play well for all 48 minutes, not just 33 minutes, and not have these games come down to the wire when essentially it should be a wrap. Yeah, you look at this one, I mean, the Mavericks, they're winning, right? They keep racking up these wins. They're beating teams they should. They are now second in the Western Conference. They're the hottest team in the NBA. Longest win streak in the NBA, and they're going to have a really big matchup against the Thunder, like I said. And I just think this team is clicking. The chemistry seems like it's elite. Guys are playing really well with each other. They're enjoying themselves. The defense has been great. The bench has been good overall. When they do need those big bench productions to come in, we've seen that. This is a deep team, and this is a deeper team than the team that made it to the finals last season. So yeah, this Mavs team, they're really good. They're as advertised. I think this is the best team in the Western Conference. I'm still taking the Mavs over OKC. I know a lot of people love OKC, and that's their pick, but I still think this Mavs team is the team to beat. This is the team that I would not want to see in a best of 7, or I'm not betting against in a best of 7 series in the Western Conference, because they just have the stars that can get it done. And whenever you have Luka and Kyrie, that is the best backcourt in the NBA. When they're playing at an elite level, this supporting cast is the perfect supporting cast for these guys. Like PJ Washington, the other game, look what he did. He's been coming into his own, Lively. They have so many nice pieces that once they're fully healthy, this Mavs team, they got the right recipe for success. So this team's a lot of fun. I like how the Mavs haven't gone through that making the finals but not winning the championship hangover. It looked like that was going to be the case when they were on that losing streak, and then it looked like they had they did hit rock bottom when they lost to the Jazz, but it looked like that was the final nail in their coffin, and this was just going to be a disastrous season. But they turned it around, and again, I credit that loss against the Jazz. It seemed like they woke up after that, and then again, you credit Luka taking that week off. And this team just looks like an absolute powerhouse once again in the Western Conference, and they showed no signs of slowing down. So guys, let me know your thoughts when it comes to this Mavs team. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. That is it for me. It's Luke signing off. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next one.